What sort of Dalek are you anyway?
My mission is reconnaissance and conquest.
Just as I thought. Recon scout.
All humanity is my prisoner now.
In your dreams, mate. You've got no casing, no weapons, and no chance.
I have weapons.
Right. Okay. Well, what would you do? You've got a weapon after all. A lot of good it's gonna do you.
This planet is now the property of the Daleks.
I know 7 billion people who may have something to say about that. Now, you might have a weapon, but you're a long way from conquest. Release the woman you're holding prisoner.
What's it doing?
I think he's laughing.
Really? It wouldn't do that.
It's Scarro, yeah.
Now,
It depends on if it which,
What is this?
these are my serious tech
Well,
skills.
we're
And yes,
not
that is
the
with
original.
us.
These
I'm
are my
confused
serious.
to hold protection. Won't last long. But I need you to see just how serious my face is right now. But it's not just you I want to talk to. Lena, I know you can hear me. I need you to know we're coming for you. So keep fighting. Mitch's here with us.
I'm not leaving you.
I know you're scared. Keep fighting.
This feeble vessel will not fight. The Daleks are supreme.
Yeah, if you're so supreme, how come you let me keep you chatting while I rebooted my systems?
Figure it out.
Here's my New Year's resolution. I'm coming for you, Dalek.
Dalek.
Lena, hold on.
Blocking signal.
That was in there.
In 1 minute.
So I like had two minds going on here with Lynn being the primary recon scout in a female body, and at the same time another female character being imprisoned. What is
Her
this?
acting's great.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know,
she
right? Her eyes
She
were
was very good.
intense.
That's why I was like from the
Beautiful
beginning
job.
with the.
I was like, okay.
They were like,
I think they needed to ingratiate
it was
you
bad
to her in
cheesy
one way.
writing, but I was like, okay, but I feel like these people can act.
It was, I
It
think
was-
more than anything, it's bad dialogue, and
Oh
that's...
yeah, that's
I go with you with that one. I sort of.
I also, I don't think it was necessary. I mean, I think
It's
that
really
they did
not.
it because they wanted to fill and make something lighthearted, and again, for the end of it, probably pull her back.
They certainly could have done it just with a friendly
Oh, but
relationship.
you're gonna be able to
Well,
predict it. I mean, this
really
is...
anything else.
It's
but
very predictable. The Dalek's gonna lose. Why? Because of true love.
I
And it's gonna
mean-
end the whole thing
Yeah.
because of true
I don't
love.
know
You
about
think
true
so?
love.
Oh,
We don't know, because Daleks
The
can
Daleks
be-
are gonna get kicked
Like,
out.
think about Clark, like Osmond Oswald.
you say that with such
She
sense.
died. She didn't defeat
Because
us,
it's predictable.
essentially.
Yeah, but Clara dies every single embodiment
Well, no,
that she
I mean,
has.
Osmond Oswald,
Yes, it
if
It's true.
you think about how they did the Daleks in that sense,
Right,
she
Mom?
only won because she
Every
was
Yeah.
single time.
so, but it was still sad.
But that's also a previous
Yeah.
season. This is a new
Yeah.
season, new writers. They won't.
I mean, like,
It's
I
gonna
don't
be...
think try
I
to
wonder,
be
but
consistent
you know
with
how like the
Daleks,
Daleks had their kind of hive minders, right?
yeah.
Wouldn't the recon scout be able to tell there aren't any?
I don't know if maybe they're pulled away from that,
Well, that's
from the hive mind.
that's what I feel like is really
Oh,
missing.
That's what I was
This
actually
episode-
wondering.
Because the cult of
myself.
Scarro has the same thing,
backstory
so they're pulled
and-
away from the...
Like,
Yeah, but they
I don't
are
know
still
where they're
of
coming
Scarro,
from.
so
And
he should have been.
Also, they don't have the casing, which that's what the hive
yeah,
mind
that's
is connects
true.
to.
That's very
Right.
true. That's correct. That's
That's
correct.
true.
Yeah.
That's what the doctor was saying, was that you don't have your casing, so that's like half the battle right there.
Yeah, this streaming is funny because like you guys are about a minute and a half ahead of me.
oh no! Sorry
I'm so
guys.
sorry.
Um,
I don't
Well, you know,
want to spoil.
we're at commercial now too, but it's just funny.
so I will say, in terms of just this episode, I absolutely love the writing and how they're doing everything with specifically Ryan's dad. I think that it was a very random time to pull it in, like a
It
really
was.
random time.
But he's an engineer. I think I can
But-
see the writing on the wall.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I was like, oh, engineer, we see where it's going. But
Yeah.
like, in terms of bringing it in this, it's like, okay, well, I mean, you could have. It's weird because like the writing and acting is still great in it, but it's like you'd want it to be more of a focal point. But I think that they did it. The thing is, they did a good job writing it over the season. But then it was like it's been a while since he talked about it, so it's been.
Yeah.
They could have brought up the whole thing of him being an engineer in a previous episode or in the last episode if
Yeah,
they knew
but
that
they
this
haven't
episode
at
was
all.
going to happen. So it's not so predictable.
So in your
I guess
face,
that's true, right? Because they did this one
a
a
lot
lot
in
after.
your face
Though.
here.
Didn't
Yeah.
they write and film this one a bit after?
They did, but they had the whole storyline set up according to Chibnall, and it's like, if you had that set up, I mean, come on, you could have done that before, so it's not so blatantly obvious. It's becoming very predictable, and I don't want it to be like that. That's
like, I mean, like we keep saying, it's not about the actors or.
no, it's not.
Everything has to do with, they're doing everything,
It could
to
be
make it enjoyable.
I think it's the
inspired.
directing.
I think it's,
Because, well, the thing is, like, I feel like
I
half of
actually
it's
agree.
been great with the directing. Like, the scenes with her being controlled, I don't like it, which means it's great directing. Because
Yeah, I mean,
it
it's very
feels,
intense.
exactly, like, if you're
that's why I
uncomfortable
brought
with,
up that part about another
anything
female being in
non-consensual,
prison.
like,
I'm like,
that's-
come on.
that's not exactly fun.
It is something I
It's
don't
being
at
done
all enjoy about this entire,
I
you know,
think this is
movie.
just a preview.
You do? Take the cabinet.
Yeah,
Come without me.
this is a preview, I think.
No.
MD's Ed research. What was he doing there?
They're a weapons research company. The Order of the Custodians claim that MDZ are buying up any non-terrestrial weaponry on the black market.
What do you think it got there?
I don't know. Oh, it's blocking the biofix now. I'm going old school. Tracking CCTV cameras, GPS, and number plate tracking.
It's going so fast.
Yeah.
He's shooting at the cameras to stop us tracking it. Oh, he's taking out the whole junction box. Right, switching to satellite monitoring. See? Can't get away that easy. Where's it going? What's it doing? If I knew that, I wouldn't be this panicked. We're gonna need some help.
That was like a nice sassy. That was a panic sassy.
UK Security Helpline, this is Polly. How can I help?
I'm sorry, what?
UK Security Helpline. How can I help?
Get me Kate Stewart
Oh my gosh,
at
she's
unit.
on it.
This is a code 0 emergency.
I don't know what that is, I'm afraid.
Oh my god, the numbers
Unit. Unified Intelligence Task Force. This is incredibly urgent. The fate of the entire planet is at stake.
I'm checking for you.
Oh my god. Where's Kate?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Unit operations have been suspended pending review.
That makes
Yeah,
sense.
can't been. Unit is a fundamentally vital protection for planet Earth against alien invasion.
Yes, but when did that last happen?
Now! Right now! What happened to it?
I'm just checking. All
She's
unit operations
interesting.
were put on hold following financial disputes and subsequent funding withdrawal by the UK's major international partners.
You kidding?
Other armed forces are available if you can answer a couple of questions.
Oh my god, this call is ridiculous. I love it. I love this call.
We're on our own.
That was great.
Since you're here,
This guy's like a
What's this?
I love that.
Have a look.
Aww.
When my mum died, my dad got rid of all her things super quick. He couldn't bear to have it in the house. She's gone now, and that's the end of it, as we said. Yeah. Funny old bloke, my dad. Of course, now I realise that was his way of dealing with it.
It's being your dad.
When your mum died, I had to go through all her stuff.
But this is all mine.
Yeah, I know, she kept it all.
Exactly. Now you see,
She once said to me,
it's not juxtaposing.
if anyone ever asks about me after I'm gone, you tell them I was lucky. Tell them I gave someone life, I watched them grow, and I was proud.
This crap would make us so
Why didn't you come, Aaron? Not for your mum or for Ryan, but for yourself.
I don't know. Maybe I thought if I wasn't there, she wasn't gone. I was better at life, Graham.
Well, there's still time.
Sounds like explosions in the sky.
Look, Graham has his role as
Can I help
the
you?
father figure of the
What do you want?
season.
Because I'm busy.
And that's generally the doctor.
The work will commence.
What work?
I shall be reborn.
That's what I was
Humanity will be destroyed.
All right, enough. Go on. Off me file. I don't care what you're being told. All that stuff's been paid for and I can prove it.
You will be exterminated.
Hey,
It's an upgrade to the graphics.
that was classic though, right?
Am I missing something? Where did that come from?
You didn't see when the dolls broke into the police archives and went
The Black Archives.
Black
Oh.
archives?
I saw that it broke into the grab.
Yeah, that's where she got. Man, Lynn must be strong, I have to say. Yeah, remember this in episode 1 perhaps? A little thing called
I thought she was forging rings.
I don't know why you say that.
Which is crazy to see that the Dalek is casing is being made out of man-made material.
It's not the casing that matters, it's the inside.
Return to the work. You will obey. The work must be completed. You are weakening.
No. You are.
You will stop this. You cannot escape me.
I will.
Come on, wrestling moves, let's go, wrestling moves, let's go. Right,
Satellite signals track the cat.
right?
So let's hit it. Hey.
Would have been incinerated. Sorry, I had to do it.
There's all the signs of a Dalek weapon. That's what was the MD said. We went and found it after all this time. You don't have to come.
Of course we do.
We're always with you.
Not in this time. I would have told him not to go.
Would they listen?
Unless the doctor's fault this season to me.
Listen, can you hear that?
Just too attached to him.
That's Lynn.
No.
I need to take a look at you.
I'm here. We're all here.
Everything's all right, Lynn. She gonna be okay? That thing secretes acted like a plug on her neck once it left. Otherwise, she'd be dead. I'm sorry. You have nothing to be sorry about. You fought and you won. It's still here.
Yes, Garrett needs another vessel.
She's got the casing already.
They had some of it, right?
Yes, Ryan.
You three help us stand to get out of the TARDIS.
Really? You
There's
would say
supplies there
that?
that'll help with the healing.
What about you?
I'm gonna find that creature. You can't do that on your own. Always have done. Being a Dalek is personal. Go on, get her safe.
But that's
So I have this
so
report.
that's the perfect look because that is what the doctor looks like when they're dealing with the Dalek.
I think
Always.
honestly
Because
the
of the
beginning was just messy
unpredictability.
because I like it now. It's just the pace in the beginning. It was a little.
Yeah. It was
Now
wonky
it
at
makes
the
more
beginning.
sense, but it makes more sense. I understand some of why they did what they did.
I would have liked that they just didn't have the I mean,
The
I
whole
like
romance thing at the beginning was kind
honestly,
of
the
off.
backstory with the Vikings because it makes us like it makes me want to know more.
Well, yeah, but I could see why you need it. I wish they would have stayed in it a little bit longer.
It would have been like
That was
so
great
so much
topic
more
to be in, right?
suspenseful.
Yeah.
With, like
This should be a 2-hour episode because I really,
Oh, yeah.
I really feel
There
like
should have
we
been a
needed to
special.
have that.
You would have done a Christmas special and a New Year's special and split it up into 2 episodes.
Yeah, already we can say that just from the fact that it's good. It's good story. So the story is something I'm very interested in.
yeah, honestly,
Okay, and like,
Okay, back.
if it were just 2 hours, I think it would have been fine. But I think I feel like this episode must have had a lot cut from it because
Oh.
that's what it feels like.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
does. I feel like the editing is really on the poor side on this.
Especially at the beginning.
Oh
Yeah,
my
no, because
lord.
like I mean,
And
that
these
transition
commercial
wouldn't have
editings are
been like
ridiculous.
specifically with Ryan's that it wouldn't have been as drastic if it didn't cut right.
I would have
there.
loved having that conversation with Graham and all that stuff, and I would have had no issue if Graham would have had that conversation before the commercial break. And I think that you're right, the commercial break did impact it a lot.
Yeah, I don't know who's coming up with that, but that's been a
and they took off,
comment
and
in
they
here.
took off without Graham.
I agree. Reggie just said there's no convenient time to bring his dad into it because it's just like real life. And honestly, that's very true because that the whole time the story was going, and they were talking
Love
in
it, Reggie.
in that cafe. I was like, this is too real. Like it's
I
it's so
love that
real.
dialogue. That was great dialogue.
And the
Well,
fact that he's
Yeah.
not like immediately like it's very realistic because he's not immediately forgiven. He's not like
So-
he didn't even apologize to Ryan.
Yep.
And he still didn't. But don't you think it's interesting? The only person who would have possibly held him accountable in the language that we heard from the doctor could have been Ryan, could have been Grace, or could have been Graham.
Grace
And
wouldn't
technically speaking, and none of them did that.
even, it was
because
the
Grace,
doctor.
But what I'm saying is,
Yeah, so the doctor.
so
took
it
on
had
that
to
role.
come from somewhere, and Grace was
She was
lost
the
at this point,
protective
so she took that.
person over him
that
because
space, but-
Graham wasn't going to do that to him.
But
Graham
Graham
wasn't
did
there.
take that role.
Graham took that role, but he's doing it in a very nurturing way. And that's
Yeah.
not that the doctor's not being
I know.
nurturing.
I mean, the
The
doctor
doctor's
was
just being very direct.
Well,
And some people have to hear direct after never hearing it.
okay, real life, like honestly, that is literally something my best friend like would and has kind of said in regard to someone that like would have had like that much of an impact negatively on my life or done something like that. Like,
Sure.
and then not even like the doctor said best friends for a reason, but if you think about it, like most of the doctors, yeah, they attach to their first companion. She has 3 that she's literally calling her fam. Like she's that, like I said, to me,
Which actually originated with 11 and prior to 11. Just reminding people.
well, but I don't think that I don't think we ever saw a level of attachment except for with. I mean, 11 was attached to Amy.
Really, I was gonna say.
Like,
Well,
it really
but that's a
intensely.
companion. That's
Yeah,
different. It's
but-
not a family unit.
So-
like
No,
this.
it was Amy and Rory. Okay, go ahead.
Sorry,
Sorry.
Molly.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so my partner brought up
I
a really
don't agree
good
with
point.
that
You know how
at all,
like in
guys.
the Christmas
I'll
specials
tell
they
you later.
they include Christmas. I think the only part of New Year's was like the very first couple of lines and maybe some fireworks they saw from the TARDIS or the Galaxy fireworks.
Well, the doctor said something about my New Year's resolution is something about
Right.
getting
Yeah.
a Dalek. But I think that's the reason that they brought. I thought about it, and I was like, that's the reason they brought the storyline in because it's New Year's, time to turn over a new leaf, and.
Well, this was
About
supposed to
family.
be the 20th New Year's Eve. They were about to go on again, and then all of this happened. So maybe we'll see it towards the end. Who knows? It depends on.
Yeah, maybe. So Louis, do you think this is turning over a new leaf? Do you think they're gonna jettison Graham? They left without Graham. Are they gonna replace him with the new guy?
Okay, whoops, we're
We're
back.
back on.
Okay.
Lewis is gonna answer that right after.
I do think his dad is gonna come on though. I
I
can
do.
see it happening.
I see it. Very useful too. I think. You know, there has to be forgiveness. That is what this story is about in the long run.
That's what this doctor's about. She's
That's right.
in a way very unforgiving. She's fine. And so is her mother.
But remember, it's very linear. Linear, like exactly. It's a really. Everybody
reconstructing yourself from memory and remnants and spare parts.
I am rebuilt.
What do you call this, look?
Is now under the control of the Daleks.
No, it's not. You couldn't even control one person.
Humanity will surrender.
They really won't. Trust me, I've seen them in action. They fought off so many things, including the worst of their own people. They're really stubborn. Have you not worked that out yet? Even the Recon Scout Daleks, the first ones out of Skaro. Humanity bands together, vanquishes you, and buries you for centuries.
Yet I survived.
Yeah. You're good at that. But it won't be enough.
This planet is annexed. The fleet will be summoned.
You don't have the ability. You don't have the strength.
You are weak. Humanity is weak.
Except, I'm not human. Have a scanner.
It's not original.
Who are you? Identify.
Like she said.
Oh my god.
I'm the Doctor. Ring any bells?
Sonic device override. The Doctor is an enemy of all Daleks. Accelerate.
He just got so triggered. He was like, Doctor.
You have to come through me. So why don't you make it easy on yourself and leave now?
You want this planet to come through me? How many times have you heard that line?
But she was like,
I need information.
Humanity will surrender. Dalek invasion fleet will be summoned. Total conquest of Earth predicted in 9376 rules.
And you know what? This recon Dalek is like really amazing.
Just remember, how long's a row?
that's gorgeous. I love her.
What happened?
Did you get rid of it?
Not quite. How much? Not quite. Not at all. Slightly
now
around it.
it's-
And let it get away.
She saved herself.
And now it's in a tank, trying to summon the fleet. Doctor! Alright, don't go on about it, I know. I'm the assistant. How you feeling then? Shaky. I'm not surprised you were for a while, but you kept fighting it. Thank you.
What?
Take these. 3 a minute for 4 minutes. Don't take with alcohol, you'll grow an extra head. Party?
Which doctor? I need to
Ready to kill me. I could feel its hatred
It's very unusual that it doesn't
enveloping me. Is that what it's going to do to the world?
No, because I'm going to stop it. We're going to stop it.
Also, what is she
Somehow, before humans start engaging with it,
Well, she's
it's flying right through their airspace. Where's it going? What?
Where are you? You better be coming to pick me up. Right, thank you. Aaron, mate, little thing we haven't told you. Tiny thing, so word of warning. You know that blue cabinet? That's just about to blow your mind.
What do you mean?
Just tiny. I love her.
In
Like,
space.
it's like, why aren't you picking me
The
up?
tiny thing in space can point.
Like,
Like a Lewis in love.
Quick! The doctor said you can come too, but Greg will have to explain.
I love his grandma so much. He was like, well, you can't just leave me.
Oh my gosh. When I was talking about family, I was talking about Rose's entire family.
I was looking Chuck Jones.
Don't forget that that was a running storyline all the way through. Not just one season, but 2 seasons.
What?
I said I was coming back to it.
Intercepted unknown drone. We'll be surrounded.
Surrender.
But I'm not.
It's not good.
Did it just talk?
Allocated surrender period has expired. Consequence extermination.
That's true!
No, that's like the
Sucker.
yeah. I know what it is. The whisk.
So is this the upgraded, degraded Dalek? Oh my god, I said it and I was right. Sorry.
Where'd he get his weapon weapons from?
It was in that weapons bar.
It was in the episode. He said, sorry.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
That's why I wasn't feeling oh,
Aww.
but like,
Where are the skeletons?
Right?
well, that's a throwback to the original.
No. You just saw them neutralized, but then they still have a body.
So yeah, that's a throwback to the original.
Yeah,
Look,
the
look,
X-ray.
he's doing it. Oh, wow, that's pretty sad.
It's dark.
From the producers of Abbott.
It's, oh, that's scary. I don't like it. Not the doctor, I mean, the Dalek was scary too.
But no, oh my god, I love the new Daleks.
Right?
Yes.
Upgraded, degraded, or deconstructed. There you go. Upgraded, deconstructed, or deconstructed, upgraded Daleks. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to get it the right way.
Why do humans never
Molly, are
remember
you back
Daleks?
yet?
No, she's a minute
I
away.
noticed that, as we just saw the upgraded Dalek. Holy crap.
Oh, you said it too. Okay, cool.
Why do humans never remember Daleks?
Yeah.
Like, why is it not in our, like, I don't
Well, it got
like-
erased last time.
The unit goes behind and they erase everything.
Yeah.
And remember they
Didn't
have like, there's an entire race of
so
beings.
counteractive though. 'Cause
Where
if
have
they
you
erase-
been? Don't you
No, I was
remember
just
in
trying to make
11
sure
that they
because
showed you them erasing everybody's?
yeah, but like for wouldn't the military at least like
Well, and also,
Yeah,
no more
Jesus.
unit. I mean, unit's been around since Tom Baker. What do you mean, no more unit?
I figured that was like their kind of more quote unquote I guess cop out way of having to like to not have bring them in. But I mean,
Yeah.
I looked at the doctor. She's like, "Get me Kate Stewart," and she's like,
Hold a moment, please. Excuse me while I check. And
That
I'm
was
like,
hilarious.
I love
yeah, like
that
the
moment.
pacing.
I thought that
Honestly,
was awesome.
the pacing, the dialogue, everything really got better just after like that second
First 15
commercial.
minutes. Yeah. The first 15 minutes were kind of off.
I really didn't need
Yeah.
some of that.
Totally agreed. Now we're all on the same page.
I think so.
Yeah. And
You asked Lewis at the end.
Graham.
He didn't get to answer. What was your question again? You said, Lewis, did you
So,
really feel like?
they left Graham behind. What did you think of that? What did you think that they left him behind?
I'm glad that they brought the dialogue in. That was a much needed line. And that's the type of humor that I want to see in Doctor Who. Not the cheesy.
We're back.
Yep, completely.
Yeah, we're back.
Are we
These are short commercials.
back?
I think.
Okay, we're still in commercial, so I'll fuck in it.
Oh no, sorry.
No, it's one of those stay tuned moments. At least this one wasn't a spoiler one. Good lord, if they don't stop those, we need to do a writing campaign to tell them to stop these stay tuned things. They're so
Yeah.
irritating.
They're annoying.
Is Elite what?
So that was good, right?
Yeah, no, I love
that.
how Graham he said that line. That was perfect. That's the type of humor I want to hear, not this cheesy, god awful Hallmark Channel romance that just it's.
Well, that wasn't
it's so
humor. That was
off-putting.
just cheesy romance. That again
It was
wasn't
cheesy
necessary.
But I like when he calls her on the phone. It's like, you better come get me.
He was so. Oh yeah, you were still watching. I was like, I love how he was so indignant about it. She's like, what do you think you're doing, leaving me behind?
With him.
Yeah,
That was the only thing that was missing. With him.
That was great.
Oh, I love Graham. I mean, 100%. That's
Well, the thing is
I
Graham
mean-
is well written.
yeah.
That's what
They're
you
all
need
well
to. They
written.
are very well written. They're just not.
You
I don't
have to
think
get-
that they're
We
fleshed
have
out.
the full depth of Graham. That's the thing is
Well,
we're
that's
still
what we
getting
needed
to
in this
everything. That's
season.
why I think that Graham's not going to continue, and I
Right.
because we have like there's not much else they can do with growth, like his growth. I feel like that's the reason they've held back. Personally, I think that's why they've held back on Yaz's backstory more so than what we've seen because
Yeah.
she can grow further out.
And she needs to grow a lot.
Yeah, I mean personally,
She does.
I say I love her as a character, but that's because like I'm going with what we have and the backstory that we have, and it's.
For us, we understand it because we connect to her backstory.
I mean, yeah, that too. I just because we've seen her family, we've seen like the dialogue that she's had with people around her, and then like her career as a policewoman. Like it's not overpowering, and that's the point. It's not supposed to be because she was new, one, Police Academy, but two, it's like sprinkled here and there, and it's like the companion's
Well, it
career
came
is-
up today because she was,
Exactly.
she
Like,
got to play that character today.
and it comes in every so often. That's
Okay, we're back.
What did you call it? What sheep?
I don't know which controller is the one.
Do you really truly have no awareness of what a Dalek is? I know you just asked this question,
That's what I just said. That's why I'm like,
but at the same time, no, yes they do. The Daleks are embedded in their,
International form moving away from it fast.
that's why I said
I'm on his tail.
the
Sorry.
international
The TARDIS isn't
security
designed to be
system.
short.
yeah, it isn't.
A microwave. Who brought a microwave with them?
So it's actually an oven and a microwave.
Doctor's just like, oh my
What is this place? This is where I've been since Nan died. Traveling the universe with these guys.
Even if we track this Dalek thing, how do we stop it? I'm still working on that.
The custodians managed it. If we take the same approach as those drawings.
Those documents aren't reliable, hits.
Yeah, except all the rumors are proved to be true. It's shown here. Short version, alien psychopath in a swan tank trying to bring loads more to Earth. I guess this is how they attacked it last time. What's it made of?
Remnants of its original shell, patched up with all sorts of spare parts, mainly metal.
I can use my oven. It's not going to fit in there. Can we push it up?
okay. See, like they have like chemistry now. It's
But
there.
where's it going?
Ryan, help me get the element now, right? It's Mel.
Oh, you're good, Ryan's dad. You're almost making up for your parenting deficit.
Yes.
I know what you're saying. The
That's
biggest
what I want.
communications resource
Those
in the
little
country.
quips. That makes the doctor.
But she has to
Get
be.
there! Buddy, it has to
Okay,
get
also,
there!
can
It
we
couldn't
just,
just
like-
happen!
So the Vikings at the beginning were already different, but then like the weird like bold letters was like, okay, this is so dramatic. I mean, I didn't mind it because it was very exposed.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this is so totally reminiscent of, oh my goodness,
I don't know. I'm just watching.
no, it's 4+. I'll tell you later.
Communication headquarters acquired. Aligning all signals to Dalek fleet. All power will be diverted towards fleet signal transmission.
How was it?
Is annexed.
Every bit of power it can take from the whole of the UK to power the transmission. It's shutting down the Wi-Fi, the phone signals. Oh, that Dalek just shut down the whole of Britain's internet.
What, on New Year's Day when everything's shut and everyone's hungover? Or a monster?
The Wi-Fi's gone off. Everything's gone off. No Wi-Fi, no phone signal, it's all down.
Not even Netflix.
That was funny.
Nothing. What do we do? Suppose we'll have to have a conversation. What?
That was cute to throw in there, just saying.
Yeah, it was corny.
But that was a good corny.
That was a good corny. That's a Doctor Who corny.
Totally. What do you think? She doesn't have a protective
I
barrier?
think I'm daft enough to stand there
Without
without shields.
shields?
It's safe, gang.
Hide behind your shield, Doctor. You and your human friends. You have failed.
Say hello to a Dalek.
Signal activation in 9 wells. The fleet shall be summoned.
No, it won't. No matter how many times you try, no matter how long you wait,
I love
it
this.
will always be in your way,
Yeah.
backed up by the best of humanity. Now, final warning, because I'm nice. I really do try my best. Stop the signal, get off this planet.
You are not my commander.
I tried. You heard me right. I tried. I gave it a chance.
Yes, you did.
I'm fast enough, right? I'm fast enough for this plan.
Probably.
Maybe.
Possibly.
Oh, that one needs work. Here's a New Year message for you to send.
Yeah, I knew it was
Earth is
coming.
protected by me and my mates, this year and every other. Here we go!
Oh! They're hugging a Dalek. I'm just saying. I know that. Just kidding.
Studios bend your shout, and we've got something they didn't have. A nicely designed, portable combination oven. Transformers. Primary and secondary coils, going from high voltage low ampage to low voltage, very, very high ampage.
That's disturbing.
Toasty Dalek.
That was a great sound effect. Ooh. Ooh.
Is it dead?
No, honey, that's not how it works. It just got out.
Signal never sent. I think that was my best skid ever. I'm so chuffed. Well done, team. Gang. Extended fam.
So surprised. Oh my god. Took a body.
You underestimate me. Doctor. Daleks survive.
Doctor, do something!
I'm sorry, Aaron. I miscalculated.
You'll take me to the Dalek fleet. Resist. And this body will be destroyed.
Doctor, do something?
Fine. Doctor, seriously. My decision. Whatever you want, just promise me you'll let him go.
It's a Dalek, Doctor.
You are my prisoners now.
Now you
Daleks and the Doctor lied. That's the beginning and end of it. Well, I knew something like
Wait.
that had to
That's
happen.
another 15
It's
minutes.
not- There was another one. No, it goes to 9:30.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, you were wondering, weren't you?
I was like, what time is it? How long has this been?
Yeah, no.
Tired.
No, but I really like this. I like where this is going. I like this aspect of the Daleks. It's really fun. It's definitely an interesting and fresh look on them.
I like seeing this. We've needed to see this. We
Yeah.
needed to have an understanding of the inception and the creation and the growth and the manipulation and what is it? The brain
There's a
brain
lot
melding
process.
and
That's a lot.
brainwashing and she's this whole.
Yeah.
So wouldn't it be curious to have a show
you should
really
almost be-
focused on just Dalek culture?
Yeah, it has like.
Ooh. Like we got that with Scarro and Capaldi, remember?
Yep.
So we really got a good look at it, and also about their
I'm just dying to see.
genocide and all that other stuff. But okay.
I'm dying to
I'm
see.
still
if they're
digesting
still
what we
there.
just saw.
Alrighty. Oh my
Oh my
god.
gosh.
I'm
Okay.
trying to think where.
How many hands up for Aaron's gonna die? Because this season and this Chibnall likes to kill people once we learn to care for them.
I don't think that they would.
No.
That's why I'm like, I'm trying to think where this is gonna go.
Because everyone's asking on Twitter.
That's the whole
That's where
point
everyone's
to
going.
this episode, I think. Like,
I think, you know, the way that all of the shows have gone by so far, they've had very few deaths. Very few. This year. Compared to previous Doctor's episodes. So, I mean, it could go either way. I mean, they might have brought him in for the microwave thing, and then like, okay, you're the host for the Dalek thing, and then maybe, okay, well, you've had your use and you're gone.
I mean, it's Ryan's dad, so I don't think.
I think they might kill him
So
off.
maybe.
I think they might kill him off because, again, it's going back to Chibnall's writing. The only way that he knows how to move a plot forward is by killing people.
Or
That's
plot
true.
point, or open-ended plot point. But they haven't been doing that with
That's not
this
the
particular
only way,
showrunner.
Louis. That I was Anyway, I think that like Ryan's gonna get in trouble, and then the only way like he can maybe regain control that way. I don't know, or he has to
Or
sacrifice
do you
himself.
think the Dalek's gonna hop from Aaron to Ryan?
I doubt it. I don't think
I
that.
can't see where this one's gonna go. I really can't anymore.
I think that it's gonna probably like be a last minute thing. It's one of two things are gonna save him. Ryan's either gonna save him, or the what do you call it? The Dalek is gonna realize that there's no hope because there's no Dalek,
There's
no Dalek fleet at
He
all.
thinks that the fleet's there, but that fleet's been gone, right, guys? Am I?
Well, we don't know.
That was our understanding, is that it was, there's no more fleet.
Well,
It's about to come back.
it is the Daleks. So goodness gracious, who knows?
How many times have we been deceived by the Daleks
Yeah.
already? So it's like, I don't know if there's a fleet anymore or not.
And honestly, we kept predicting things and it hasn't gone in any ways. It actually has been a fairly unpredictable episode. Except for the eventual use of the
Which
microwave.
is a good thing.
No, it is. It's great.
Yeah. But, I'm kind of digging, getting back to the origins. Do you remember the Tom Baker
Thank you.
episode?
She and I just said that. Yes. Thank you, Molly.
End of Greek. Well, it was the end of the third Doctor going
That's right.
into the fourth Doctor.
Third going into the
I was
fourth.
right.
Yep.
I was like third or fifth, but it was
No, and
third.
I said it was. Yeah, no, I said it was fourth. It's.
I just remember that because that's like it was an episode with I think where he first one of the first episodes he like interacted with Unit and he had like a car or something and like they were.
Yeah.
It was grounded.
So,
But do you remember? No, go ahead.
No, but I just find it interesting. We're kind of getting back to that kind of primal Dalek. We saw Davros, with Capaldi, and there was all this kind of like almost not touchy-feely stuff because they're obviously not touchy-feely.
I love
But,
that.
it's,
Coining the phrase, the primal Dalek. I love it.
yeah, and it's cool. It's cool to go back to see that 9th century original, like
We're back now.
these guys were badass. Oh, you're back on? Okay, back to you.
Trust me. We've landed.
Finally, my mission is complete. The Earth and the Doctor shall submit before the Dalek fleet.
No fleet. Only a sun going supernova. And a squid-sized vacuum corridor about to pull you out into space. But you're too weak, darling. You can't hold on. Except it is holding on, Doctor. All right. The vacuum corridor's expanding. I can't control it. What do you mean? It's going to take everyone with it.
No.
Everybody, hold on.
Hello. Okay, this is weird. Why wouldn't they all be like holding on to him? Grapple hook or something. Hello, grapple hook. Exactly.
He is mine now.
He's mine. I forgive you. I love you, Dad.
Oh no, don't do it. I see.
That would be too cool to run.
Don't do that, man. Don't do that. Come on. That's right. In your face, Dolly. Love of a child can overcome.
I mean, the only thing
We've got you. Not bad for a kid with dyspraxia, right?
Not bad at all.
he's too nonchalant. He's just like, oh yeah, okay. So my son just forgave me. I was just attacked by a Dalek. I'm in space. Like,
He's being a typical guy.
I think that's everything back in place. Next time, you go looking for anything that goes missing.
Just kidding.
You're really going in there? This is what you do?
Yeah, you fancy a trip?
No. back. You are coming back.
Yeah, of course.
Look after her.
Always.
Alright, we need to career in engineering. Can we fix this?
Come on then, you lot. Places to go.
It was so
When you say
unspoken.
places to go, what are you thinking? Where to next? I was thinking everywhere.
On the first day of the year 2019, across the land and sky of Britain, an army of unlikely friends came together to face an impossible opponent and prevailed.
Tail. I think it was meant to be like that.
I get it. The end made it a little more like it wrapped up really fast.
Yeah.
There was a lot of casualties, and like Lynn and the dude are just, I guess there afterwards. They're just like tagged
Yeah.
along, and it works out.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this one.
It was good up like I
I
felt
don't like
pretty
the
good up
ending.
until.
Probably,
Was it
honestly,
unceremonious?
at least first impression wise, I would probably give it like a 6 out of 10. This episode.
Okay, we're still here. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean,
I give it a 6 out of 10.
It's just ending to me. 1 second.
yeah.
I don't know. Well, final thoughts. Honestly, the best part of it was
Okay, awesome.
The Dalek.
the Dalek. Yeah.
I have to say
So,
the ending was a bit unceremonious, just because like it would have been more. I would have been more comfortable with the Ryan and his dad thing if like his dad were like at the time, like at the same time he also was like I'm sorry, and then Ryan was like yeah I love you, because he kind of just was like I forgive you, but he never actually acknowledged anything Ryan said.
no, he didn't.
Yeah.
No,
the-
he doesn't.
that was the
And you know what's kind of cool too is now we have the definitive end of the Dalek. Possibly.
No way.
Well, she didn't say.
We
She
really
was
don't
like,
know.
She was like, oh yeah, no fleet, just no, but she didn't say that like.
Yeah, because
Oh,
she took
but
it
there
back
is
to
no
the
existence.
original point of where the fleet was destroyed and the supernova was impending.
It's the Daleks.
This is way back to the original origins of Doctor Who again.
But remember what
Yeah.
happened last time they went into a supernova? They came out the other side and they still
Exactly,
survived.
it's like-
So
And we know
Daleks.
that, right? Because that comes back in 10. That comes back even
yeah,
before 10.
exactly.
Well,
So,
this is the thing.
I mean, we don't know, but the doctor only can
I'm
deal with the moment
like,
that the doctor
what?
deals with. So.
Sorry, the World Darts Championship is on, or it came on after Doctor Who, and I'm like, what?
There's actually a tickling competition, a national tickling
Oh
competition.
Lord, how did we get from Doctor Who to these things? Okay, let's stay on point. Stay on point, people. So
I mean,
Doctor Who
I would agree. I
resolution.
think it wrapped up super fast.
Too fast. Too fast. I
And
don't like that.
I was just like, oh, is that it? Okay. Well, the reason why I'm saying, I mean, you know, obviously they go back and forth through time all the time, right? And of course now we discover that there's a Dalek buried on Earth. Who's to say there isn't a Dalek buried somewhere else too?
That's what I was just
And,
thinking
and
too.
again,
yeah.
this is exactly
The Daleks will
Right.
always make their comeback.
the Daleks will out.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
As long as the Doctor
Unfortunately.
exists, a Dalek will exist.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, but I still think it was kind of cool that, you know, it was able to get to the archive and grab pieces of its
That-
former self.
And
I-
that was
Intelligent.
That went by so fast though. It was like,
I
oh
wanted
yeah,
to see
casually
more.
just broke in. That's why I'm like, I think the Dalek part of it. They opened up.
I'm of the mind that this was a longer episode, as you said,
Well, they made
and that
everyone want
because
more.
of the amount of commercials that they had no choice but to put in, that they had to edit
Yeah.
out extremely crucial points. I would love to see an uncut version of this episode, because then I think my rating on it, or my overall feeling on it, would probably go up.
Yeah.
Because we'd be seeing things that we're probably
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah, alright.
I mean, if like what scale are we doing? Are we doing like a 1 out of 10, 1
Yeah.
out of 7?
Whatever you feel comfortable doing, honestly.
I can't make my. That's the problem.
And again, this is
So,
an initial,
I mean,
so.
yeah. I mean, for me, if I was to do like a 1 out of 10, or whatever, or 1 to 10 rather, I'd give this episode probably a 6.5.
I agree with you.
I loved the primal Dalek aspect of it.
Yeah,
I thought
really
it was
like
super
that.
cool tying it into the old Who with the new Who.
Yes.
And I think that I wanted to see more of that. More than just your typical exterminate. No, I wanted to see more. You know, I wanted to get a little bit more of that flavor. Ryan's dad was interesting. I don't think we'll really see much of him. I think they made their peace. So now his angst about his dad will be gone for a little bit, you know, so they don't have to touch it.
It felt like it was just like, okay, kind of like the middle part was good, but then it was like, okay, well, let's just wrap it up so he doesn't have to deal with this anymore.
Yeah.
I do think that it could be relevant to the storyline or the time, even the timeline.
Sorry, I
They
cut you off.
gave him something that was relevant.
I think that they cut him off and they kind of like cut off that whole thing that could have been into the next season, and they just killed it off completely, and they resolved it so quickly, and it's like
they left it a
what?
little open. Like I am hoping that Ryan like kind of goes back on himself a little bit, and he's like, well, wait.
And then the
My
doctor
dad's
like
kinda sucks a little
the
bit.
doctor makes it this huge deal when he comes in for the first time, and then suddenly, oh, it's okay. What?
Well, it's not-
This
she
makes
doesn't
up for
make
your
it-
She doesn't
parenting
make it a huge
discrepancies.
deal. She just the doctor states the obvious. That's all we're saying.
Yeah, that's the thing is, it's like it's
It's
coming
pretty
across very
obvious.
strongly for you, whereas it's like it's just an obvious statement. He's a bad parent,
Well, I know that.
Yeah.
and so
but-
she says you abandoned Ryan. She's stating both a recap for the audience, and then also like,
Yes.
dude, because
Yes.
it can't come from Yas, it can't come from Graham, it can't come from
Yeah,
Ryan,
that's what we're saying.
gonna
It
come
couldn't
from the doctor.
anyone else.
and it has to because it's also Doctor Who. So it's like, and we don't see a lot of this season where she is very protective of Ryan in that sense. We see a lot of encouragement. So if you go back and watch a season and just watch the interactions between Ryan and the Doctor, because I've actually made note of it. Every episode, she makes a point. Doctor makes a point
Yes.
to encourage Ryan. It's like,
Yeah.
well done, like,
Yes.
good job. So it's if you think about it, it's a parenting role. And-
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I see that. I'm just saying, like, it
But
was
not,
resolved too
but
easy.
not mother though.
Oh no,
not
it was definitely resolved too easy.
It was
like-
resolved way too easily
Oh,
for
I
what it was.
totally agree with you. I was like, wait, what?
I was like, no, that it can't be that easy. No, in real life, it's not that easy.
It's not.
You don't just resolve
But
it.
it
But I think that's
also-
on Ryan's, like, that's the writing on Ryan's thing, because the doctor was like, well,
Well,
that
it goes
almost
back to
makes
the
up.
writing.
Yes, she's like, it almost makes up
Yeah.
for your parenting deficiency.
Well,
I also think
and
it's the
also-
crisis of the moment, so maybe that's what.
That's why I'm like,
Yes.
maybe next season he'll be like, oh, wait, my dad still kind of sucks. Like, he never apologized to me. Like,
What were you saying, Molly?
I don't think so. I think the angst with the dad's gonna be gone because the dad's like, peace, I'm out. I mean, at the end, he's like, I'm not involved. And in fact, he said, take good care of him. You know, so.
Well, it's not. That may not have been a foreign concept to him, feeling that Ryan was taken care of now. You know, Bruce not there, so.
no, I don't like how they did it with him at all.
I
I'm just
don't
like,
like it.
I mean, I can see his
They
dad
should've.
going like, yeah, no, because that would fall in line with his character, but like being like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, they definitely wrapped that up really quick. And they didn't need to, because they could have done it in a resolve that was more angsty.
Yeah, they could have.
That
And they could have given us
I would've
an
liked
Easter
some
special. They could have given us something to hold us over until the next year, instead of cutting it off so quickly and so
I
just.
agree.
They could have done something
Oh,
like
yeah.
they did with Tenon at the end, that they kind of prolonged it with specials. So they could have done the New Year's special and then
It took
come
him
back.
how
I don't think
long
they have the
to have to leave? and
actually,
start
Jenny
a
Jen, I
journey?
don't think they have the funding. I think that's why they've had to
Yes.
expand it out for so long, and
That's
why
true.
it was in question that none of them were coming back.
So,
No.
Molly, looking at this from what that post I sent out at the beginning, thinking back at to the original classic Who, do you see where everyone was saying there's homage to classic Who here and to the timeline?
Oh, for sure. Oh, yeah. I mean, I think unless you know Unit and you know some of these other things, I mean, even though Unit, pops up now and again throughout all the new Who, I think of I want to say Brigadier. But Commodore, all of them, all these old characters, there's no way of really bringing in Unit without bringing in about 1,000 people. I mean, that's an exaggeration. But yeah, I saw flashes of maybe some homage to the old Who in her face, in her smile, kind of like, oh, gotcha, yeah, Daleks, it's personal. Yeah, it's personal. It's been personal.
That's how I mentioned, like, that scene specifically where she was like, the Doctor, we only ever really see the Doctor goad on an enemy and, like, really, like, not just engage them, but, like, genuinely, like push their buttons a bit with the Daleks. Like,
genuine hatred.
Yeah, that's the
which
thing.
is something that the Doctor was
So she
called
was-
to task for, remember?
Like, she smiled. She was like, oh yeah,
Yep.
scan me, like, I'm the Doctor. And that's why I'm
Yeah,
like, the
I love
Dalek
that.
was immediately triggered. She wasn't even, like, it didn't even process to be like, go for cover, like, say that after you're covered. But that's genuine. Like, that part was, I think Jodie did really well.
Oh, she did really
like,
well this
phenomenally,
episode.
honestly.
She did
Yeah.
really well this
With
episode.
embodying as many doctors as she
I'm
could.
telling you, they were flashing across my mind, and you kept hearing me say it.
They were.
They were
But-
totally
Yep.
flashing.
Now,
She
the only thing that I had...
She really strikes me. The first Doctor just comes across so strong for me.
I agree.
It's just me, but yeah.
I
Me
can
too.
see the a-hole in this Doctor a lot
Mhm.
that you see in Hartnell.
And the crassness and the
Yeah.
It's
perfunctory,
It's very blunt.
blunt dialogue. And yep,
And it's
Yes,
a perfect,
it's
it's
not-
a
Oh, yeah.
perfect going from Capaldi to
That's
this.
correct.
It's
Yeah.
kind of, it
That's
flows
correct.
correctly.
Yeah.
But the only
It does.
thing
It does.
is that I haven't seen Jodie completely take on her own identity yet as the Doctor.
True.
Makes sense.
We were just talking about that earlier today. We're waiting for it. We're waiting to see her take on it.
but that
I mean,
happens.
it's always
But it's taken a while.
that first season always they
Yeah.
never.
Well, it needs
Get
to.
to
it.
Yeah,
So no,
it
it
has
has
to take a while.
So in the timeline of the Doctor and her regeneration,
It's
it
usually
takes
one
her a whole
season.
season.
I get that, but
Because-
I wanted, since this was a special, I was like, hopefully maybe we'll see some type of evolution
I
in
think
her,
it
but
has to.
I haven't
Don't you
seen
feel
that.
like
I
we saw
think we
some?
did though.
But
I think we
saw
did. I thought we saw
something
some flashes of it.
But I think a lot of
Yes,
what
flashes.
you might be
Not all of it,
holding
though.
against some of the writing, like, in the Doctor, is her own identity. Is this Doctor's identity.
I think so. I
Because
agree with you,
this
yeah.
Doctor's identity is blunt. Going up to a character doesn't matter who they are, it just tends that this season
That
the
is
bad guys tend to be men.
So
So going up to them and calling them out. Like,
Yeah.
and being blunt, because this Doctor literally isn't holding back, or that's why, like, we were just watching so what was it, the second to last
Capaldi
episode of
was too,
Capaldi.
though.
That's the
Capaldi
thing,
was
yeah,
fantastic.
we were just watching that episode and I was like,
this is what people could not
he's
understand
so
about
harsh, but
his harshness.
you have to understand, like, you have to get it. So that's why it's like, I see where people can be put off a little bit with Jodie, but, like, if you liked Capaldi, there's no reason
Yeah.
you shouldn't like her.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
I really like
Oh, no, no,
my
no.
point.
I really like
Oh,
Jodie.
yeah.
I really like Jodie
Do
as
you
a
think
as a
that
Doctor.
the
No,
Doctor
for
could
general.
ever have made his way through 50 billion, made his way through 50 billion years to get out of his prison? If the Doctor wasn't the Doctor that
And
at
this
that
is,
time,
this is the following
there
generation.
was no other Doctor who I think had reached not just the capability, but I think the emotional fortitude and that strength of will and this absolute focused commitment, although albeit it was a wrong focus, but to be able to come back and destroy himself over and over and over again. And I think that this Doctor, as part of this Doctor's identity, could also have possibly stepped into that role. I judge a lot of the Doctors against that particular episode. I really do.
Sure.
I think that the
Does
writing
that make
also
sense?
hasn't allowed her to have, like, that
I agree.
that episode where, like,
I would
she
agree
hasn't
with
had
that
that
too.
monologue moment.
Absolutely.
Then again, Capaldi didn't have it until, like,
Capaldi
later
didn't.
on.
Well, no,
Listen.
because in the
No,
first
he
season,
did.
in
We
Listen,
heard it and listen.
yeah, that was the first season,
That was the first really strong
and that was the first season
monologue.
of his.
But that wasn't really relevant to only himself,
I think
right?
that's
That
also
was what
part
it
of
was.
But
what-
that was his Doctor.
It was his Doctor.
That was his
Remember,
Doctor.
it was him.
We
Well,
haven't
think
had
about
that
it
moment
too.
of
I mean,
identity.
you're going from Matt Smith, who was comical,
Well,
who didn't seem to have much seriousness to Capaldi, who was like, it was very different.
And it also
That
has to do with,
Smith
it's
had actually
completely
a
different.
lot of seriousness. What he
Yeah.
did was he hid it behind his
That's why it was such a
His
young
whimsy.
his
age.
childish youthfulness,
It's
and that is
whimsical.
why he had to be a young character.
That's why
And it-
Capaldi was, they justified, or like the older face to be more.
And who says it?
In line with.
It is actually said very clearly
War
when he made with the war doctor, and then again it
Mhm.
is said yet again. It is said by the of Gallifrey.
The time lady.
Yes.
The time ladies. I always forget what they're called.
Time Lord.
She said she calls him out like flat on it. Oh, okay, this is why this is the way it is.
I think that's the other thing is we
Mhm.
haven't had.
You know what I'm talking
because
about,
with
right,
Moffat,
Molly?
There was
Remember?
so much interaction with
How when
Gallifrey.
he's down in the Citadel, etc., and he's having that
Yeah,
conversation. Yeah. mhm.
Yeah. So I think because this season,
She also did it to
and I
Tom.
understand why, because we went from the last two seasons having like kind of an overload with new Gallifreyan like interaction and information that
Mm.
you know the creators and writers made the decision with this season not to touch on Gallifrey, like not to touch.
I
on,
wish they would.
Well,
I
I would
want
say,
more.
But they
yeah,
kind of did tonight, though. They kind of did tonight, only because they're going
Yeah.
back to the whole story thing. They're going back to that whole origin thing. So it was very subtle.
Well, I think that's
But-
what I'm saying. Is, like I'm saying it as the reason for why like people may feel that like this doctor hasn't had their like identity completely solidified yet because
sure.
we haven't had that. But I get why, because I honestly would have been too much in this first season because coming off.
Oh, there's
Capaldi.
already-
Well,
been
the
so
whole
much.
the whole season has been a focus on I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna say it. It's been a play on a lot of social justice points and a lot of
Yeah.
social justice points of view, which is great because this is going back to what Doctor Who was. It's a life lesson for children to watch with their parents,
This kid should-
and it's meant to be informative for children. And I get the whole point of the season, so I do not want to dismiss the point of the season and what they did.
well,
but-
story-wise,
Mm-hmm.
They haven't been able to go into the building of
well,
the mythology, which they have in the last
but
the
I don't
last
think
10
they
years.
should. I think that they shouldn't have with the first season because they wanted this to be like a bit like a reboot in a sense. And
That's what I was
in
saying.
all honesty,
in
like,
that short episode
if I
did
describe
discuss
my
that.
feeling coming off of Moffat era with like how much
It was
it
exhausting.
was exactly exhausting.
It was
We
truly
needed a
exhausting.
break.
Yes.
So
Yes.
this season, for me, like you said, okay, social. My first thought that came to my head was it was about the companions. Like
Yeah.
I mean, through the companions, we saw those stories, but it was about Ryan, Yaz, and Graham's
Mm-hmm.
emotions and stories and histories.
Yeah,
And
like Twin Job and then the Rosa
Rosa
Parks,
Parks.
absolutely. I mean, we
Yeah,
saw
and then-
their characters come through in those. But, what's interesting, though, is there was still a lot of social justice, just not over hitchy in the head type stuff, social justice with Bill.
Yes,
Oh, very much. I just
But that's the
rewatched
thing.
all of that.
that was very
Yeah.
subtle and very back in the back end of
Wait
the
a minute.
story.
Wait.
But
So there absolutely was with Clara as well.
correct, there was in the last
Well, there
since
always
the beginning
has
of
been.
Modern Who, it's always been like that.
Mhm.
It's always been inclinations of it. It's just this season
from
they've
back
made
in
it
nine.
blunt and very to the point.
Yes,
Enough
They
for
did make it
children to
blunt.
see.
but if you look back
It
at
is.
at 9, the entire season of 9 is about social justice and social finance and cultural issues, and it is literally written into the language of Christopher Eccleston. Every single
That's true.
episode, at least one time, he very clearly and quite bluntly
So
brings up that point.
the
Okay.
reason that people feel it's a very like hitch.
If you go back and look at the episode, you'll see what I'm saying.
Is that I know. We
No,
have to
you're
wrap up.
right. You're right. I
Like
agree.
the reason.
And he
I
did
mean,
it beautifully. Just saying. Sorry.
For me, I was say for me, season wrap up wise, like and wrap up video wise, like or discussion wise, I would say that, or I guess technically people would consider it arguing, but the reason that people, I think, find this season so hit over the head social justice is just because it's more specific. It's in the past. It's been a general commentary on
Correct.
humanity, but
Innuendo.
It's very much innuendo. And this season, and you know what? I'm sorry, but Doctor Who needed this
oh, it
season.
did.
It needed a season like this because these issues need to be brought up more and more, and people are not having this conversation.
Well, that,
And
and
this
it's-
is bringing
it
that
makes it
conversation
real.
to the forefront.
It makes it
Which
real.
is
It
great.
makes it relevant. It makes it relatable, relevant, relatable. Like Doctor Who, actually hasn't been like that. I think, like Molly, like you said, with Bill, I felt this Doctor Who had become relatable for the first time in a while. Not to say I didn't like it. I loved Doctor Who with Matt Smith era. I definitely did. But like, it made it. It was very much like a distanced, like I could dissociate from it. Like, okay, this is like a sci-fi show. But with Capaldi and with Jodie, I'm genuinely taken into it to where it's like, okay, this can exist in our universe. Like, this is very relevant to the world, and that's what Doctor Who initially was supposed to be.
Yeah. And
Generationally relevant. We have this
yeah,
conversation.
you're supposed to be able to, like, this is every time there's a reincarnation, it's not just a regeneration of the Doctor, it's actually changing the face of the Doctor, and that's not just physically, it's metaphorically as well. And you're seeing a different personality of the Doctor, but the Doctor is us. We all have these personalities that you could see in the Doctor's face. We all have a feminine personality. We all have male personalities. We just don't bring them all to light. We have a balance inside of us. The Doctor does not, because of these regenerations. And by seeing this is what makes Doctor Who so fresh, is that we're able to see all these different perceptions of what the Doctor sees in humanity and in life in general. And that's what makes this show so amazing for us, is that we all identify with different Doctors. Why? Because of the companions that they bring along. Joe, you associate with Bill. Nisha, which is the one that you associate the one with the most?
Companion-wise?
Companion and Doctor-wise.
Oh, goodness gracious me. That's a big question.
I honestly, personally associate with Martha and Tennant the most.
I adore Martha.
That was my favorite because I love that combination. First of all, I love women that actually show off that they could do so much stuff and they're badasses, for lack of a better word.
Super intelligent.
Exactly. And
What
they're
an
not
unsung companion Martha was.
and they're not like just they're not sexualized. They're not marginalized and they're not sexualized in any way or form. She is a badass because she is a badass.
Yeah, I just don't like that they made her fall in love with the Doctor. It was absolutely unnecessary.
I wouldn't say that though.
So that's what most
I
people
do.
don't like Martha for, but
I hate it.
I think
it
it's
was
one of her.
so unnecessary for
I
her
mean,
character.
it definitely, in a way, it could have been, but it was one of her biggest strengths that she was able to work on.
Exactly.
Anyway, coming back to the season, I'll take the last point that Reggie made with us here, because he's been keeping up the whole time, and I completely agree. He said that this season has been a breath of fresh air. He enjoyed the social justice aspect and thought it was a well-needed run after a run of all the entities that have a grudge against the Doctor. And genuinely, that's what like the past few seasons has just been like. It really has been. So a breath of fresh air is like a great description. And I love all the new monsters, creatures, species that we've seen, and the reiterations like the Dalek, and
or perhaps seeing that there's an entire existence, and it's not parallel, right?
Yeah.
So we see the Doctor existing here with companions, having these experiences. The Earth is experiencing this. These planets we already knew experienced this. But in this season, we get to see everything else that is existing, almost like, when the Sonic lets out the sound, it's just, what is, I always forget what it's called. It's like multiplicity, or you know what I'm talking about, right? There's a domino effect.
Yeah.
So in this season, we're getting to see the waves of the domino effect for things we would never, and we have never been privy to see.
Yeah.
Because we're getting to see those long-term effects of things, right?
Oh, you mean the butterfly effect or the domino effect?
It is the domino and the butterfly effect. It was actually both. So good, very good.
Okay.
She got onto it. I just couldn't think of the term for it. It's a good movie.
Sure.
And I think that the butterfly effect is such an important point of perspective for the Doctor, don't you think?
Yes, extremely.
Yes.
You know, I don't know. Maybe. Does anyone want to explain that? Maybe viewers. I think most
Yeah,
viewers
so
understand what it means.
For anyone still watching, thank you for for sticking in there with us. I just realized, yeah, it's been live definitely for over a couple hours, almost
2 hours. Yeah.
yeah. So thank you for being there with us, and I mean, not wrapping up just yet, but about to. If you have any questions, comments, or theses
theories
that you want to discuss with us, you can
I just caught that. You know, the rewatch is already on, so we're looking at it. And
I just played. I
you
have it
played
recorded
it
on
over.
DVR, so
I was wondering.
I played the episode right back over. But yeah, so discuss
that's
with us.
beautiful. I don't know how I missed this.
We have this scene was great. We have our
God,
Facebook
look
group,
at
Diversity Geek
struggle.
Discusses. You can find us in that group and start a thread, put any comments in there, or on any of our social media channels in general. But if you like the conversation that we are having right now and this discussion of Doctor Who, and you tend to have a conversation like that about Doctor Who or other fandoms that you have, do make sure that you, before we head off here, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, even Tumblr. Sometimes I'm on there. But specifically on YouTube, you can find our Diversity Discusses series, where we go in depth to a lot of series and pieces of media like we're doing here. But more often we'll be doing our podcasts, as will Van Bites Media, and you can find those specifically over at...
You could check out anything from Man Bites Media on any podcast site that you currently choose. We're on everything. We're on Spotify, iTunes, any type of Google Play app. You will find us on there. You will find us on Podbean. There's about 36 different sites that you can find us on. So we're pretty much everywhere and anywhere. If you want to check out more content as well for YouTube-wise, check us out on YouTube under the same name, Man Bites Media, and we have about 150 reviews up on that channel, spanning almost 3 years. And also you could check out one of our associates, which is Narcotic Casserole, and all the productions that he does on there as well, which he is consistently putting stuff up on YouTube, and that is part of our Man Bites Media YouTube site.
Yeah, and the reason I bring it up is just because I know we're wrapping up here, and you might be starting to do your own things at the end of the episode. But if you liked joining along with us, do make sure that you follow up with our YouTube channels, our podcast streaming channels, I guess they technically are, social media sites in general. And again, if you have any specific topic that you're looking to discuss, or even if you have any thoughts on Doctor Who, or if you've ever had some long-running theory or discussion with yourself about something in Doctor Who, and it's just you're dying to have a conversation with other Whovians, let us know.
Join us.
Yeah, exactly. Join us, because we would
in the dark side. Sorry.
Definitely not the dark side.
The dark side.
Oh, speak for yourselves.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, so again, let us know. Give us a shout out about what you want to discuss, or what you want to see us.
Let us know how you liked this particular platform and how we did this today, because we thoroughly enjoyed it, right, guys? I think that was pretty fun doing it this way, with both the live stream and the podcast at the same time. I think we might probably do this again sometime in the future.
Yeah, definitely. And
For the
also,
premiere.
just a little messenger,
Definitely
something that was
for the
already
premiere.
sent to us. Nerdy Chap actually asked how many drinks of Chibnall's regular consistent themes were in this film, because he wants to know how much he's going to need to drink when watches the episode.
Oh, I
At least
know.
5 or 6.
So if you haven't seen any of our or listened to any of our other Doctor Who reviews, we've been keeping count each episode, like, okay, what's reoccurring, what's consistent, and there has been at least like one death toward the beginning of the episodes early on, but they kind of started like they stopped with that a little bit, but there were deaths in this episode, but it took a while to get to them, and it was a Dalek, so
Let's put it this
had to
way:
be deaths.
they probably Nerdy Chapter will be drunk by the end of the episode.
Probably.
Yeah.
Knowing you. Uh-huh.
I agree. Get drinking.
I mean, it's Chibnall. He has this thing, but if we had started that back with Moffat,
Oh God,
I wouldn't
yeah.
be.
That would have been on the
standing.
other side, exactly.
Not that I even drink, but I just even without drinking, I would not be standing because it was that intense.
Yes.
Moffat theming. But yeah, so I don't know if you guys want to like wrap up with any thoughts in particular, or if you'd like any. We like to end with a specific quote that we enjoyed from the episode, or from the season, or just in general a quote. Does anyone have anything that they want to wrap up with?
Other than just, it's personal comment, I thought that was some good classic Who there. So I enjoyed that part.
That was nice.
When the doctor's like, it's personal.
I love the creation of
it.
the Dalek from scratch. That was awesome. That's probably the best thing.
The art was just wonderful to see. The genesis of the Doctor of the Dalek in this particular way
So,
was very
We could say
refreshing.
for you it would have been Junkyard Chic.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And then for
It's
you?
definitely Junkyard Chic. I thought the upgrades with the missiles was pretty cool.
That was scary, actually. It was like,
It was scary because you're all of a sudden you got this Dalek. It's like, ooh.
And yourself?
Watch out.
What moment did you enjoy?
Are you asking me? You know how it is with my brain, and I have so much to go through. There were a lot of refreshing points throughout it. I kind of love that we had such a lively discussion and back and forths on this, because that's what I want to be able to see in an episode, is that we should be able to have questions and be able to question.
Favorite moment or
So-
quote or dialogue?
Stop it! I'm trying to figure out. I'm not even sure.
She's got at least 10. She's got at least 10.
I mean, we have to
You know
rewatch
me
it.
by now?
Like, usually we have a day to process this and go back and rewatch it.
So you guys do know I live tweet as we do this, so all of my favorite quotes are right here in front of me.
Yeah.
I
So
have
just
to go
check out
back.
the Twitter feed, and you'll be able to
Check
see
out the
all her
Twitter feed,
favorite
and
moments.
You're actually going to see at least 20-something of those in here. So, because I've been, tweeting out. There's so many of them. Goodness. Loving the scarves, yes. Favorite year ever, one day. Okay. So I think I said, you might have weapons, but you're a long way from conquest.
Yes.
The
That was
Doctor.
good.
So the Doctor's interaction with the Dalek seems to be pretty much a favorite here. Personally, I just
And
love Graham.
I love the old school, by the way. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Yeah.
I just loved Graham. I
Yep.
specifically just loved.
Everything and anything he said.
Yeah, just in particular, like
The bromance.
the
Yeah.
complete like his stature, like his body language, his facial expression, specifically in when he's like, "You need to come pick me up." Like
That was your favorite
Yeah.
thing, right?
Well, I feel like with Graham, we've gotten to know him the best. Like
Yeah.
we still have yet to get to know Yaz. We still have yet
Exactly.
to really get to know Ryan. But Graham, his character now, I feel like we have now gotten a more complete picture of who he is.
And shout out from Reggie, his favorite moment, which was my close second, was Ryan's speech to his father in the pub, and I
Yeah.
that was a wonderful.
Beautiful.
It's actually
Beautiful.
back on. for
And
us
that's
right now.
actually what's on right now.
But yeah, like that. Well, like this is what I would say. So thank you everyone for joining us
Thank
on New
you.
Year's Day. Happy New Year. Happy Who Year.
Wah,
Happy
wah,
New
wah.
Year! Happy New Year!
I think I want to close with a line. So Ryan's dad says, Aaron says, and he's talking with Graham, and he says, you know, I wish I was better at life, Graham. And Graham says, there's still time. I think that the simplest of that line means it's a new year. There's another year ahead of us that's filled with possibilities, and it's gonna be a mixture of good stuff, bad stuff, and all the in between. But it's still possibilities, and at the end of it, there's something joyous that's going to come from it. Because a year ago we weren't
Love
doing
that.
this, and here we are doing it now with these two amazing friends of ours. So, with all of those difficulties, and all the difficulties we have in living our life, remember that there's still time to live it perfectly imperfect, as we always say.
Definitely.
Very
And
nice.
I think that's a
I
great
love that.
that's a great message for the new year. So happy 2019, everyone. I think
Jack.
that's it. It's just so little. I mean, I'll be like the doctor, fam, gang, whatever else she says. Good night, DG Lovelies. Thank you for joining us, and have
Love
a
you.
happy Who Year.
Happy New Year!
Good night, all. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.